Very exciting day. It's a Saturday morning around 9 o'clock. You can see I finished the pad yesterday for the barn. So we got all the gravel down there. So these are the tools that I got for today. Got the old trusty water bottle. It's gonna get kind of warm today, so good to stay hydrated. We got a chalk line here, which would be good for marking straight lines and where to nail and such. Always important to have a tape measure. We got our speed square here. This is a 7-incher. The most we're going to be cutting today is 2x6s, so 5.5 inches, so that's fine. Got my Milwaukee circular saw, and we also have clamps just in case, because what we're going to do is we're going to have two sections. We're going to have a 12-foot flooring section and an 8-foot flooring section, and we're going to combine those together, which is why then we come over to our joist hangers here. These ones are for two 2x6s, so there will be two 2x6s sitting in here. So this is where the two pieces will come together, and this will help keep them together. And we also have these flush mounted joist hangers. So these are the ones that go right on the end, and so you can see these are the regular joist hangers that go in the middle. So you hammer the nails in right there, and then the nails right here go into the board, and that goes into the beam as well. So with these, on the edge, if you use a regular joist hanger, you're going to be sticking over the edge there. So that's not going to work. Some guys just bend this out, but I need to have a permit, everything. I need to make sure I'm all up to code and everything like that. So these will be able to sit flush right against the edge. So that's what those are meant for. And then I also have hot dip galvanized nails, 8D for nailing into the beam, and 10D for nailing into the joist in the beam. Trusty hammer. Got to have the level. And then I also have a rake, a shovel, and a tamper, just in case I need to do any adjustments on the gravel, if I need to dig out underneath it, or if I need to tamp it down, make it more flat, and a rake to just move it all around. Then of course I have these two buttholes following me around all morning. Now it's time to do some cutting. All right, here we go. So we've gotten all the lumber cut for the flooring, thanks to some extra special help from my wife, Catherine. And now I'm getting to laying out where the joists are going to go, because she also marked them all, 12-inch onsetter for the flooring. And I did some measurements on the boards, and they vary in height. Some of them are 5.5 exact, some of them are a little bit more, some of them are a lot more, up to 1/4 inch variation. So if I set the joist hangers, just flush along the bottom, there's a chance that it's going to stick up a little bit more. So I'm going to do some measuring and mark off with numbers, 1, 2, 3, and then just find my boards, mark those boards, get some measurements, and get them set. Because the floor is going to be the most important part, holds everything else up. I want it to be as perfect as I can possibly get it. So that's what I'm doing now. So I've gotten this first one in here, and what I've done is I've left this side open So I've just nailed these 3 to be flush with the edge. And then I'll go in, when I go to hang these, I will get this set to the right width and then hammer them in, because if I do it too tight, it's not going to fit. If I do it too loose, it's not going to work correctly. So yeah, so that's the first one. And then I go with these guys, and with these ones I'm just going to get it centered. Sorry, it's sunny. Centered on my lines and get it set, and then you just hammer these little tabs in and then it stays there. But I guess so what I'll actually do is I'll get one side flush against that and against the line that my wife drew. So I'll get that flush against the line, sorry, and then I'll hammer that side in, because the same thing, I don't want to get this too tight or too loose. I want to get it just right. All right, so I got all of the joist hangers for one done. So I found that hammering them in from this side was easier for me, just because when I was doing it on the other side, I felt like I was constantly almost going to hit this edge. And so you see, I got one side in flush with that line, so that when the other side comes in, when I put the actual joist in there, this will be able to, I'll fit it right to that and then nail it in from there. Hopefully all my lines are straight. So those are all in. This is 1 of 4, so really looking forward to that. And one thing they never tell you, this is one of the trickiest tools you could ever use. You would think that hammering a nail is the easiest thing in the world to do. It is not. So props to all you carpenters out there who do it by hand all the time. That is not an easy thing to do. All right, so I got all the pieces cut, and now I'm working on getting everything settled on in there, getting it level and getting all of the joists in. Hey, what's up everybody? So we are getting back at it today. Took a lot longer to finish the floor than I thought it would. Shows you what the hell I know, which is nothing. So I'll show you what we got now, besides 2 dogs. So this is what we got now. It's all done and level. So these are all pressure treated 2x6s. And they are all 12 inches on center. So I had an issue where some of these were just not getting flush, and there was big gaps in them. And in order to fix that, I had to take 2 ratchet straps, connect them together, and ratchet strap the whole thing together before I nailed them in. I would also highly recommend a nail gun for this. You know, I have my nail gun, but that's a framing nailer. I don't think it would have worked well for this. And I believe they do make nail guns for this that fit right into these little slots, so that you can just stick your head right there and bang, shoot it right in, which would have been really helpful because it took 2 days to do. And Catherine was a big help, but she was also very busy, so I had to do a lot of this on my own. But so yeah, so now we got that set. We also got, per the town, we got our ground anchors in there, secured with cable. And those are on, we got 2 of them on opposing corners. And those are there just in case there's like a flood or something. Whoa. We got 2 of them on opposing corners secured with cable. And it's 1/8 inch wire. So when I lay the OSB flooring down, I'm thinking I'll just cut a notch where the cable goes so that the OSB sits flush, so that then the framing can lay flush on top of there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up the framing for the 2 sides. I don't know how far I'm going to be able to get. It's starting to get darker earlier and earlier these days, and I was really busy with work. So these 2 sides, this one right here, this 10-foot side, and the far 10-foot side are both the same, identical. So I figured it would be pretty easy to just knock those out. And they're also pretty straightforward, really just 8 studs, top plate, double top plate, and base plate. So we'll get right to it.